Kansas football, volleyball, and basketball all in action this weekend. We'll give you the wrap-up for your KU sports. Men's basketball tonight versus Rider. We'll see if they can get back to their winning ways. And NFL surprises, including the best catch ever. Yes, the best catch ever. All that and more on Good Morning KU coming up next. Welcome into Good Morning KU. I'm Jackson Long. Thanks for joining us. Latest news out of the baseball world this morning. Pablo Sandoval, third baseman for the World Series champion Giants, is now a member of the Boston Red Sox. So there's one of the early offseason moves to shake up the landscape a little bit. Pablo made some big plays with his glove this season, but none better than the catch made last night by Odell Beckham Jr., catch of the year in football. And there's Odell Beckham Jr. for the New York Giants, warming up before the game. That's one, that's two, so that it's good, it's great. And now check this out. Practice makes, oh, perfect. Unbelievable catch from Odell Beckham Jr. Just sensational. The best catch I have ever seen, the best catch LeBron said he's ever seen. So around the sports world, Twitter just blows up. And wow, just an incredible catch. Lots of comparisons to the catch made by David Tyree in the Super Bowl, but I think this one takes the cake. This is one of the best catches I've ever seen. Definitely the play of the year so far in the NFL. A fantastic play by the rookie out of LSU, a 15th overall pick in the draft to the Giants this year. Now on to some other football. It's Kansas football, and they got run over 44-7 in Norman on Saturday, but Sooners running back Samaj P. literally ran over the Jayhawk defense. Just 1 week after Wisconsin's Melvin Gordon broke the NCAA single-game rushing record, P. Ryan said, "Hold on, it's my turn." There he goes again. One-hand touch from the Jayhawks. That will not get it done. The freshman phenom went for 427 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's 427 yards, and for those counting at home, 72 fantasy points if he was to play. Unfortunately for the Jayhawks, it came against their team, but it's always incredible witnessing history. Samaj smashing through Kansas defense all afternoon in the rain-soaked game. This is the run that broke the record right there, and his teammates prop him up. What a fantastic accomplishment. Unfortunately, it was against our Jayhawks. A little bit of a letdown for the Jayhawks after a great game against TCU last week, but an impressive showing nonetheless from Samaj P. Ryan, the freshman sensation out of Oklahoma. So this Saturday, the Jayhawks will take on Kansas State to wrap up their season, and then the official coaching search will begin. That's Clint Bowen, I guess, versus the field at this point, so we will see how that shakes down as well. And the Kansas volleyball team now dropped 3 straight sets to Texas on Saturday. The win clinched the Big 12 championship for the Longhorns. Kansas dropped to 8-6 in the conference. Both will be remaining matches at home, so that's good for the Jayhawks. Wednesday against West Virginia, and then Saturday the Jayhawks will welcome in Oklahoma to wrap up the regular season. And women's basketball now. The team wrapped up hosting a 3-game set in the Hall of Fame Women's Challenge this weekend. The Jayhawks lost a close one to Alabama 85-80, but bounced back to win the final 2 games of the weekend against Temple and Georgetown. Kansas now owns a 4-1 record. Next up for the Jayhawks, a matchup with Iona on Wednesday at Allen Fieldhouse. And a men's basketball preview time. The men's team looking to get back to winning ways after taking a tough loss against Kentucky. The Jayhawks have had plenty of time to think about their struggles. Their opponent is Rider, who is 2-1 on the young season. It'll be interesting to see the starting lineup that Bill Self will roll out. He's used 4 different lineups in the 4 games this season, including the exhibition contest. So that is Allen Fieldhouse tonight, 7 p.m. It's the last home game for the Jayhawks until December 5th when Kansas will host Florida that Friday night. All right, so now we bring in our Chiefs guru and NFL insider now as we're spreading the wealth. Griffin Hughes. Griffin, thanks for joining us. No Chiefs, they lose to Oakland, give Oakland their first win of the season, unfortunately for local fans. Broncos come behind to score 22 points against the Dolphins, And then you already saw the amazing catch by Odell Beckham Jr. So we'll jump to a quick informal update on your power rankings. Kansas City probably comes down a little bit. What's the shakedown in your rankings right now?
Well, the power rankings go by week. Who's the best team in the NFL.
That's right, week to week.
So the Chiefs now are 30th. The Patriots and Packers still up there. You got to put the Broncos up there. I think now you got to put the Cowboys in there as well. They're playing well again. They came back, obviously, dealing with a bunch of adversity against the Giants. They still came back and won. So you got to put them in there. But to me, right now, it's the Patriots and Packers and just about everybody else in the field. A
top two in the top tier of the NFL right now. Now, Griffin, we're going to jump to a couple of the surprises in the NFL. What are your 3 surprises so far this season?
Well, I have to amend it a little bit. Let me add a 4th, obviously, the Beckham Jr. catch. Mm-hmm. That was just stunning. But the 3 that I actually prepared to talk about, let's start with the NFC South. We'll go big to small here. So first off, the NFC South has been surprising and very, very disappointing. I thought this was going to be the second best division in football behind the AFC West. I thought the Panthers, obviously, stacking up. They look great. Cam Newton's a star. They haven't they haven't been anything near there. The Falcons, obviously, with Matty Ice, I thought they figured it out. They didn't. Then the Saints, always contenders. They're not. Obviously, the Bucs are terrible. Combined, this division is 13, 26, and 1. Combined differential of minus 188. Both by far the worst in the NFL.
And amazing, the division could have a winner with just 6 wins on the season. So that's a big surprise there. All right, surprise number 2 now, Griffin.
Number 2, the Seahawks. And, wow, excuse me. Scratchy throat today.
No worries, bud.
The Seahawks were actually the last team to go to the playoffs under 500. So, it's funny that we bring them up. They're a team that changes from week to week. One week they look like there's no way this team can't win the Super Bowl. The next week they look like they're going to miss the playoffs. And it's surprising to see them going back and forth like that. I knew they wouldn't be the same dominant team as last year, but I didn't know they'd be having this kind of switching back and forth. The stats are still there. They're still the best in the NFL in rushing. They're still 3rd in opposing pass yards per game. They're 6th in opposing rush yards per game. So that defense, the Legion of Boom, they're still there, but they haven't wow, I don't know what's going on with me today. They haven't put it together in the way that we've seen them. They did it all last year. They haven't done it again this year, and that's surprising. I thought they'd at least be able to do that consistently, but we've seen them go from, being the best in the NFL to probably not even making the playoffs.
Definitely a team that has been up and down all season. They had some inconsistencies in their roster, so that probably contributes to their up and down. They still have a bunch of games left in the division. They dominated Arizona on Sunday, so definitely some opportunities for Seattle to make moves. We'll see if they can do that. All right, final surprise, Griffin, before we head to break.
Definitely DeMarco Murray. I never saw this coming from him. He's had 1,354 yards. By the way, the next best in the NFL, 951.
Wow.
So, no competition there. 7 touchdowns. He's rushed for 100 yards in all but one game. That one game, by the way, was against the Cardinals. And he averages 5.1 yards per carry. To put that into a little perspective, last year he had 1,121 yards on the year. 3 100-yard rushing games on the year. 9 touchdowns on the year.
And he's about to blow all of those numbers out of the water.
He's already blown 2 of them. 2 of them are just, they're done for. And like you said, there's a lot of football left to be played. That 9 touchdowns, that's still there, but he's gonna break that too. This is a guy that went from, a pretty good running back in the NFL. Obviously 1,000 yards is a pretty great mark, but he's gone from pretty good to the best. I wouldn't. My first reaction was to say probably the best, but he's the best. He's the best. There's no question about it. Best in the NFL right now, and I would never have seen that coming.
This season, definitely, that DeMarco's been the best. Offensive line really helping him out as well. That's Griffin Hughes. A little bit under the weather, but hey, he'll never hesitate to talk some sports. So we appreciate him joining with us on this Monday morning. We're going to take a quick break. Jarrett and Vimbai will be back with the news afterwards. Please stay tuned.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas. A great place to be you.
Hi, I'm Jarrett Goodman.
And I'm Bimbai Mudari. This is your news update for Monday, November 24th. A suicide bombing in Afghanistan killed at least 45 people during a volleyball match yesterday. The police bomber attacked a crowd watching the match, injuring 60 in addition to the 45 fatalities. It is currently unknown if the event was orchestrated by a terrorist group.
Residents in the Buffalo area are preparing for massive floods. Warming temperatures began to melt the 2 meters of snow on Sunday. Officials are worried that the rain and increased heat will cause severe flooding, with the worst possibly coming today.
A 12-year-old boy with a toy gun was fatally injured by a Cleveland police officer. The officer responded to a caller on Saturday who said someone was pointing a gun at people near a Cleveland recreational center. According to the Deputy Chief of Cleveland Division of Police, Ed Tomber, the boy was ordered to stop and show his hands, but reached for his waistband instead. The boy was shot and passed away early Sunday morning at Metro Health Medical Center.
A power line in Lawrence caught fire last night. Emergency teams extinguished the fire in the 1200 block of Kentucky Street. Although the fire caused power outages in the area, Westar Energy fixed the issue and restored power early this morning.
The Lawrence School Board will ponder possible changes in attendance for elementary and middle school today. The potential alterations will come into effect on 12 schools in the zone in August of 2015. The board attends the meeting tonight at 7 p.m.
A Lawrence High School student earned a part in the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade on Thursday. LHS sophomore Megan Tao will join 184 others in a band that contains students from all 50 states. The parade will take place in the New York City and aired at 9 a.m. on NBC.
And that will wrap it up for today's news update. After the break, Jackson and Daniel will be back with the weather. Please keep watching.
Welcome back into Good Morning KU. We have Dan outside the Union right now with our weather. It looks nice, but sometimes looks can be deceiving. How's the weather out there?
Oh, it's really warm out today. It's 36, but it's pretty windy, so it's sunny but windy. Tonight it should drop down to 25, so it's gonna get cold.
So some nice weather. It looks nice, at least as we head into Thanksgiving break. A lot of people will be traveling tomorrow, so what's the weather look like for those trying to get out of town?
Well, I understand you're going to Columbia, so tomorrow it should be in the lower 40s, upper 30s. So it's gonna be getting warmer all week. So hopefully everyone's all comfortable in the cars tomorrow.
Awesome, good weather to travel. Now, Dan, you're from Ferguson, Missouri, and obviously a lot going on there right now. We're talking about the weather, but what is kind of the atmosphere in Ferguson that you maybe would have a better clue of than some of us who aren't from the area?
Yeah, right now, we're all waiting for the announcement of whether they're going to charge Darren Wilson or not. So tensions are kind of high. All the businesses have boarded up and everyone's kind of hunkering down. I know that when they make the announcement, we're not going to be in town. So just everyone keeping an eye on each other.
Thank you very much, Dan, for sharing that. And obviously, we wish you and your family the most safety and have a wonderful holiday break. And we wish all of you a fantastic holiday break over Thanksgiving. So travel safe, be safe, and eat some good food and watch some good football. That's it for Good Morning KU today. And thanks, Griffin, for joining us again. Have a nice day.